Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another recruiting video. You know, I've been meaning to do this series for a little while now, the Dream Class series, where I will go through, each major college football program and predict a realistic dream recruiting class for the 2023 cycle. We had the major update yesterday in terms of on-3 rankings getting added to the composite, so I figured it would be a great time to start this, and we are starting it with Ohio State. And again, guys, this is going to be realistic. I'm not just going to add the top 25 overall players to this class, but I'm sure this class is going to finish with a score above 300. You take a look at this class right now, it's a little underwhelming. We understand it. There's only one top 100 guy. But Ohio State, they're in it for a lot of key guys. They have a lot of solid 4-stars, but it is a little bit different compared to past years when you're talking about 10 commits and only one player in the top 100. Ty Lockwood, I believe, was like 99th, and then he got moved down in the recent update. But guys, I have screen recorded my phone or, right next to it with all the top targets. So we're going to go into this and go to the class calculator and then calculate some of these players with a See, this is stupid. We're not adding new transfers, man. It's so stupid they add transfers to the overall score. Like, what? Like, I don't even know who's going to be in the portal for 2023, man. Who would project a transfer? I don't understand that. But, so let's do this, guys. The top targets, Cormali McLean. I mean, you want to talk about a dream class, but I don't think it's realistic. I'm not going to add him. So the first guy I'm going to actually add is Keon Keeley, who actually is committed to Notre Dame right now. This kid's the number 6 overall player. He's from Tampa, Florida. Very unique recruitment. Actually committed to Notre Dame when he was ranked like 190th, and he's since shot up. He's expected to take an official visit to Ohio State and Alabama, with Ohio State having the best chance to flip him. But the current vibe I get on this kid is he's probably going to stay committed to Notre Dame. But there is a chance this is a realistic dream class. We need, Ohio State needs an elite edge rusher in this class, so I'm going to add him. And we have to, right down the list with Caleb Downs. There's no doubt about it. Caleb Downs, the superstar safety from Georgia. Imagine getting him. It would be such an amazing blue chip get. Right now you're looking at the main programs. It's Georgia, it's Alabama, and it's Ohio State. And the vibe I get from Caleb Downs, I think he's going to Georgia just based off the fact he's 40 minutes from the campus. He lives 40 minutes from the campus, and it's going to be very tough to pull Caleb Downs out of Georgia. But there's been rumors Ohio State leads for him. There's definitely a chance, and this is a realistic dream class. Realistically, they could get him. The next guy we're going to be adding is Brandon Anis, who was the number 1 receiver in the nation for the longest time. Since then, he's fallen down. He's a 5-star, the number 2 overall receiver. He is visiting Ohio State, I believe, in a few weeks, and he could be on commit watch. I understand it looks like there's some crystal balls for USC. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he goes to Ohio State. A lot of people are basically saying it's a done deal to Ohio State and Brian Hartline, so that would be a major win for Ohio State. The next guy, Mateo Uilungile. This one is tough, really, because I just don't see much of a chance Ohio State lands this kid. I've seen it over and over again where some of these West Coast recruits will flirt with Ohio State and they'll be in it and whatever, but I just don't see this as realistically a chance. I know technically Ohio State's like number 1 or number 2 with USC, Alabama, Oregon also. And he's staying on the West Coast to me. This kid is staying on the West Coast. I don't see much of a chance. He is an edge rusher. He is currently a 5-star. I don't know if he'll stay a 5-star. I think he's more of a project type player. But certainly I'd love to get him. But I'm going to leave him off the list. Next, we've got very interesting. Richard Young is listed as cool for Ohio State, meaning if you're listed as cool, there's not much interest there. I think there is interest with Richard Young, and unless I'm missing something, he is expected to visit Ohio State. Now, guys, this is a dream class, and Richard Young right now, it's not looking great. but Ohio State needs an elite running back. And Justice Hayes and Cedric Baxter Jr. just are not legitimate options. The only legitimate option, if you're Tony Alford, you have to somehow, get Richard, don't know how to spell the dude's name, get Richard Young back on campus and get this kid, because last year's running back haul was not good. You add him. Ohio State coming into the spring, they were the leaders for this kid, but then no visits happened to Ohio State and Alabama becomes the leader. You would hope there would be a chance Ohio State could get back in on this kid, because you need an elite running back. Justice Haynes is not realistic. He's very likely going to Georgia. Cedric Baxter Jr. didn't even include Ohio State in his Final Five. He's an NIL recruit. So Richard Young at this point, maybe, guys, maybe there's another running back that emerges late as a top 100 player. We don't really know yet, but right now, when you're talking about best chance, it would have to be with Richard Young. The next guy I'm going to add is Carnell Tate, who is a 5-star receiver. Kind of an interesting recruitment. This kid is originally from Illinois, and it looked like it was going to be an Ohio State-Notre Dame battle early on, and Notre Dame was very optimistic. But recently, all the talk has been Tennessee. He visited Tennessee during the spring. They threw a bunch of money at him. They offered him a 7-figure deal, but it looks like he'll take the development over the money. Carnell Tate, supposed to be committing later this month. He regained his 5-star status after the update yesterday. I still think he's ranked too low. He's probably like the 3rd or 4th best receiver in the class. They've got him at number 5, but I am adding him. And then this one may be a little bit of a stretch, but we have, Ohio State, they've got to get an elite offensive tackle for this class. It's been such a position they've struggled to recruit. This will not solve the impending, major issues they're going to have in 2023, because this kid's going to be a true freshman, but I am going to add a fringe 5-star from the state of Massachusetts, Samson Okorla, from Thayer Academy in Massachusetts. Very rare you find a 5-star recruit from Massachusetts, but I am going to add him. He might not finish a 5-star. Right now it's really fringe, but the bottom line is you need an elite pure offensive tackle. Luke Montgomery is very likely going to, transition to being a guard. You don't want to make that proclamation just yet, but you got to land a legitimate elite offensive tackle in this class. So I have him. The next guy I'm going to add is Damon Wilson, which may come as a surprise to some people, but Ohio State is most certainly in on this kid. Is he not on here? I'm in the transfer portal box. It's so stupid with the transfer portal, man. You got to stop. No one's going to be able to predict a freaking transfer over a year away. Nobody's going to use that. I don't understand that. But yeah, this kid, this is a top 50 player. He moved up recently in the update yesterday. His stock is rising. You get him and Keeley as your pass rushing duo. That's amazing. So he's a guy right now. It's listed as cool, but pretty much every school is. His recruitment is just getting going. The next guy I am going to add is Troy Borles, who's a linebacker. Ohio State's been on this kid for a while. Kind of a weird recruitment where it looked like they led, then Georgia led, but I think Ohio State's done enough to get him, and this is an optimistic, recruiting outlook. Justice Haynes, it's not happening with him. Noah Rogers, superstar. I love Noah Rogers. Absolute superstar. I think he's the number 1 receiver in the class. They should get him. I wonder if Clemson is listed as warm here. No, they're not. I know he's visiting Clemson. Let's get out of that visit and not have to deal with Clemson coming. Because Clemson's going to sell this kid on being the number 1 receiver in their class. If Ohio State lands both Anis and Tate, that's going to, it's going to be tough to pitch him if he's the number 3 receiver. I'm hoping Clemson doesn't become a thorn in the side for this kid, because he is impressive. Jason Moore, I don't think so. I don't think that there's a chance they get him. We're going to continue to move down. So the next guy I'm going to add is Tackett Curtis, who Ohio State has led for a while. This is a Jim Knowles recruit. This is his recruitment mainly. Go ahead and add him. So that's 2 really good linebackers right there. This kid, he got his rating got, hit a little bit yesterday. He went down about 15 spots. It's going to happen. It is what it is. He's still a solid linebacker, and that would be a very impressive pull for Jim Knowles from the state of Louisiana. You've got two tight ends, two top 100 tight ends. They're listed as, I don't see either one of these guys coming to Ohio State. The next guy I'm going to add is a big boy who I would love to get my hands on. It is John Walker from Florida, and he is a top 100 player, big defensive tackle. These are the type of guys, the big boy DTs Ohio State needs. Hopefully they're able to get him. I'm also going to add Washington, who just moved up. Washington's been a guy that's, wow, they've updated this thing. It works a lot better now. Washington's been a guy, another big defensive tackle Ohio State's been in on for a while. Larry Johnson's been in on for a while. I am going to add him as well. And then we're also going to add another offensive tackle. I got to start paying attention. We're 22 commits. This class is looking at, I would say, 24 or 25. That's normally how it is. Last year, I think they had a class of about 22. But the scholarship limits, all that stuff is so messed up right now. But the next guy I will add is Olis Allen, who's another offensive tackle. This would be a great offensive tackle haul for Ohio State. They really, they really need an offensive tackle haul that's good, considering, the horrible recruiting they've done there recently. Just so subpar, so I'm going to add him. You get two good offensive tackles. Luke Montgomery probably transitions to a guard. I don't have a quarterback because I really don't know who they're going to take, but they do need to take a quarterback. I'm not going to predict right now. Ryan Day, it's real unique what Ryan Day does, and especially how he found both C.J. Stroud and Devin Brown. Both of those guys were not even talked about until, the back half of the summer. So there's still time for Ryan Day to find a quarterback. It's going to be tough to get a top-tier elite quarterback just because you've got Dylan Raiola in 2024 and Devin Brown in 2022. It's going to be tough to land another elite guy in 2023 when they want playing time, but they do need a quarterback. One quarterback per class at least. I know people are talking about maybe they take a transfer, whatever. They definitely need a quarterback, in my estimation. I'm going to also add Lee, because they are going to need another defensive back even after Caleb Downs. I don't know why let me just spell his first name like a normal person. Add him from Georgia. So this is another kid whose stock is up. Kind of more of a, slot corner. I would say slot corner. He's 5'11". I guess he could theoretically grow a few inches. 136 player. I would be completely content with landing the 15th overall cornerback from the state of Georgia. It looked like Ohio State was going to get A.J. Harris. It's not happening with him. They don't even have him as a top target. Jalen Thompson from Michigan. Oh, he's a defensive lineman. I thought he was a cornerback. Wow, Michigan State maybe. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get him. Rico Flores, they should pass on him. Reed. So Darren Reed is another kid I really like from the state of Georgia. I think he's a big stock up guy. He could be a guy that ends up as a top 100 overall player. Add him. And then we're also going to add Reese, who I absolutely love, to finish out the linebacker class. Arvil Reese from Glenville. Really, really good recruit. So this is a very nice class for Ohio State, 321. It's not the 330 that Texas A&M got. If Ohio State wanted to get to like 330, you're talking really high-end talent. I mean, there are a lot of 5-stars here. Just looking at this list, what is this, 6 5-stars they would land? There's some, stretches on this list for sure. But again, when you look at position by position, quarterback, they're going to find someone, they will get a quarterback, a scholarship quarterback for 2023. Running back, if you're able to land Richard Young and Mark Fletcher, who they already have committed, that's an unbelievable haul. Offensive line, this would be a great offensive line. Montgomery is going to probably be a guard, but you're getting 2 elite tackles and then also some good depth with 2 good guards. That would be an absolute home run. The receivers, it's ridiculous. I mean, you're talking 3 of the top 5 receivers in the entire class, I would say. Innis, Tate, and Rogers. And then you also have Bryson Rogers, who's kind of an under-the-radar guy. Recently got bumped up to 4 stars. And then defense, the defensive line, the interior defensive line, Walker and Washington, I would be completely content with that. The pass rushers, Wilson and Keeley. You know, Keeley is going to be so tough to flip, but there is a chance. There's a chance, at least the last time I looked, or the last time I heard about his recruitment, he wants to officially visit Ohio State. I expect Ohio State to crush Notre Dame, but these kids don't base decisions off of one game, so I don't think that's really going to play much of a factor, unfortunately. But those are two really good pass rushers. And then when it comes to the linebacking class, it would be amazing. You're talking about two top 100 guys, plus a really underrated kid from the state of Ohio, Curtis Bowles, and then Reese as the linebacking class. The cornerback class, maybe a little bit... Johnson is moving up boards, maybe a little bit underwhelming. Lee, to me, like, he's just a slot corner. Like, if they also landed A.J. Harris, like, before NIL was a thing, if they were able to land A.J. Harris with Lee and Johnson, that's a perfect cornerback haul. Perfect. They might need another corner. Safety, I mean, if you get Caleb Downs, it's a home run, no matter what other safety you get. So this is just a realistic type class. 26 commits, 321. If you guys don't know, I mean, you're basically a top 2 or top 3 class. You know, Texas A&M had 330 with their crazy class or whatever. Alabama had like 328 last year. Those two teams recruited ridiculously well. But if you gave me this class right now, I would 100% take it. You know, Keeley seems like a little bit of a long shot. Richard Young at this point, what are they going to do at running back? Offensive tackle, you got to land someone. But overall, the class is coming together. It might be a little underwhelming right now, but they're in on it. They're in on a lot of these top guys. I think the next big dominoes, it's going to be the receivers. You're looking at Carnell Tate making his decision soon, Brandon Inniss, Noah Rogers as well. Those are going to be the next huge dominoes for Ohio State. And then you'll see how the Caleb Downs recruitment develops. It's going to be tough to pull him out of Georgia. But there's a chance. I mean, Ohio State is the one team not from the South that is really in on it for Caleb Downs right now. So there is a chance. But with Georgia and their defensive pedigree, I mean, they just had 5 first-round picks, all defensive players. And he's from the state of Georgia. That's tough to recruit against. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. I'm just going to do different classes every week. Like maybe I'll do a Miami, Texas A&M would be really fun because you could basically add anyone due to their NIL collectives, their impressive NIL collectives. Alabama would be one, maybe USC, although, you know, they really aren't in on a ton of guys right now. They've got a good start, but they're not in on a ton of guys. But maybe just a different dream class every week I'll do and try and, you know, give some of these teams really, really good classes. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.